For this video, I figured I'd throw together a little bear flag review, the year 2021. These aren't completely perfect, but they're pretty close. This is the daily chart. Zoom in where we're at right now. This little guy. So what I've done here, I've drawn this parallel channel, and then I've drawn a second parallel channel. Actually, let's get rid of this one so I can show you. Okay, this isn't a perfect bear flag, but I've noticed these similar structures over and over and over the year 2021. So I believe this is relevant. Let's have a look. Let's get another parallel channel in here. I've shown this before. It's interesting how you can draw in a couple different parallel channels and they match up perfectly, like with the candle bodies and the wick bodies, or different, or I mean the wicks, or different wicks in the structure. And so let's connect these two wicks, and now we got this parallel channel. All right, see how this working? Now let's go up here and see. Oh my goodness, look at that. Oh, I gotta turn my magnet off. Sticking on stuff. Look at that. See the top line here? Look at that. It's just perfect. Boom. See that? Boom. See that? Before I erased it, you couldn't even tell that top channel. That's perfect. This actually could be extended down here to show you a little better to the top of that green candle there. See the top of the body here. Wick. Couple data points there, and then the bottom of the channel. Wick body. Pretty much body there. See how that's working? It's not perfect, but you can clearly see the structure. And then this is relevant here. There's a secondary kind of channel. I think that's interesting. This is probably bots at work. I don't know. It's so precise sometimes. It's kind of scary. But this is the one we're currently in. I'll bring this guy back down here. I don't want to confuse the subject. So this is like what a bear flag would look like. And I've pointed some of these out. I've drawn some of these in on the cycle here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th. There's actually a couple more smaller ones, little narrow ones that you could possibly draw in, say here in the second week of April, and maybe the 4th week of March, 3rd week of March, but those are real skinny and it's not really much to look at. But maybe even one kind of here, 1st week of February. But the ones that are kind of wide, right, that show a structure. Let's go back to the first one I have marked here. Let's zoom in on this little dude. This was back 2nd week of February, and it broke out the end of the 2nd week of February. February 9th, February 10th, 10 days. So this one's interesting. Again, there's the double channel structure in there. They match up perfectly on the top, as you can see. I don't want to make this video longer than it has to be. So this is the only one that broke out the top. Now let's have a look at it. It broke out the top. This is the only one of these bear flag structures on the daily chart. That's a thick, nice thick one, something to look at. Like what I was saying, you could draw possibly one in here, see how that's working. The tops of these wicks, the last week of January, 1st week of February. So you could draw one here, see how that's working. And then it would, I haven't done this yet, but just for the sake of blabbering, let's have a look and see. You can start to notice this kind of stuff once you look at it for a while. So let's draw it in there and there. Let's see this, and then let's see if that matches up. See how that's matching up? Look at it. It's not perfect. We could probably get a little better if we go, say here. That's pretty good, right? See how that's working? And you can extend it. You can extend it down to even say like there. See that? That's pretty good, right? And then you can even extend it up here. See how that's pretty close. There's one, that one actually broke up, but that's kind of skinny when you zoom out. But there's one that broke up too. Actually, this was the Elon Musk. This is not a good time to look at. This is different than a lot of stuff. This This is where Elon Musk changed his Twitter handle to Bitcoin. And this big green one here is where Bitcoin or Tesla announced they had bought Bitcoin, this one here. So this is probably a little different. There was back in these days, there was so much hype and so much good feeling, right? And everyone was just gung ho, you know, just go for it, right? So this could be a little different. But anyways, this is the one that broke out the top. And if you extend this out, it broke out the top. It did. But then look what happens. It comes blasting back down through the bottom. So reset this chart, zoom out. Every single one of these little bear flag structure guys I got marked here is basically signifying a dump, with the one difference being this could be the just the overwhelming good feeling of Tesla buying may have what caused this extra pump here. See that? But it came back down straight through it, crashed straight down through it. Okay, so let's look at the second one. You could actually draw a super skinny one in here leading up to the Coinbase IPO, but it's not, you know, it's not all that great. But you can see them, right? You can see them, and most of them are leading to these dumps. If you ignore the Elon Musk Tesla syndrome or whatever you want to call it. So let me draw that line. Okay, looks like the second one here. Zoom in on this guy. This one was led to the biggest dump in the history of Bitcoin. Right? This is no joke. These are bear flags, traditional bear flag structures. Every single one of them I have marked. They're all leading to dumps. So this isn't my opinion. This is the history. This is the cold hard facts. There's actually a couple in here, like June 22nd area. I could draw another little one if I really wanted. There's also bull flags in here, like this one here. Third week of July, second week of July. Boom! That's a bull flag structure, and I did talk about that. There it is, right? I was saying if it started pumping here, I said that'd be the worst case scenario because it would create this big, you know, something like this. I think this is going to turn out to be a mess. And it's just going to delay the cycle, and probably fleece the public of another $1 trillion when it's all said and done. So let's not get off the subject. Okay, boom, there's one. And then go down here. Here's the third one I've marked off. Dump out the bottom. Here's the fourth one I have marked off. See how this working? Dumped out the bottom. It's not really one here. You can parallel channel. That's the dump. That's kind of the dump down to the futures. So if you've been watching my videos, October 29th out here. October 29th out here. That blue vertical line is the CME monthly closure, Bitcoin closure, last Friday every month. Historically in 2021, these big red cascading waterfalls dump down towards that date. Keep that in mind. Here's a little bear flag structure. These aren't super awesome bear flags, but you can clearly see the structure. These parallel channels are not lying to you. Breaks out the bottom. Now here's one. This one's a little different than all the others. This one breaks out the bottom, but then blasts back up through it into it, right? And then goes sideways. So this is the only time it went sideways into the CME closure date. It's actually kind of a dump in there. And then here's another little bull flag. This one's pumping away from the CME futures close. And then boom, big stinky drop right at the bottom of it. Boom, see how this working? So if you've watched my videos, down in the description, I have my CME dump video linked up down in the description. I highly recommend you watch that. It's just good information. Whether, you know, it doesn't say something's going to happen for sure right now, but looking at it, you should see it. And throw in these little bear flag structures. There we go. Scrunch it down a little bit. Zoom in a little bit. So this isn't something I'm making up. This, like I said earlier, this isn't my opinion. Every one of these is dumping, with the exception of the tail end of the Elon Musk or the Tesla entering Bitcoin days. There was exuberance there. That's the only one that pumped out the top. See how that's working? So like here, you can kind of draw a bull flag structure. It pumps up, right? Lots of the bull flag structures are pumping up. So maybe I'll put together a video with I put in all these CME dates last Friday every month, vertical lines, and there's actually bear flag structures and bull flag structures. Bull flag structures leading down towards them, kind of. They're not perfect structures, and then then it dumps, and then there's bear, like this one right now. This pump we're on started the start of October. This is pumping away from the last CME futures close, and we've got this bear structure again. And I wouldn't be surprised, right, if this goes ahead and dumps. I don't know when. I've been also, there's lots of bullish stuff out there. Maybe this is a time where there's hype and exuberance and lots of bullish sentiment. Maybe this one busts out the top, right? But be careful, because we've seen it before. Boom! This one could bust back through the bottom, like the first one here. See how that worked? Boom! At the top, lots of exuberance, lots of bullish sentiment, right? These were the early days of the cycle. Everyone was just super psyched. Yeah, long. Boom! And it's kind of the same feeling now. I've just been around longer. So even if this breaks out the top, I would even be more worried if this breaks out the top and this comes up to test the old all-time high, 63, 64, 65,000. If it comes up into that ballpark, I'd be even more worried if it breaks out the top, because that's going to make this a big stinky one, right? It could be devastating. So, watch, who knows for sure. But I'll end this video. I don't want to yammer on too much. I accidentally drew another line in there trying to move my chart. So there it is, right? Every time, dumpy dump. Every single time, it's not lying, with the exception of the one in August. It did dump, but it pumped back into it. It never pumped up about the top, but it did pump back up into it. So who knows for sure what will happen? This isn't predicting the future, but you can look back at the past, and the past is pretty clear. So just be careful. All information is good information to have in your toolbox. I hope you enjoyed this. Have a good day.